This is NBA Now by Chat Sports. I am Nic Rohloff, and yeah, the NBA playoffs are raging on, but we have some major NBA trade rumors that we need to discuss on Giannis Antetokounmpo, the forward from the Milwaukee Bucks, and the guard from Memphis, Ja Morant. We'll start with Giannis, a top 3 player in the NBA, in my opinion. You could debate the order, but I think it's Jokic, SGA, and Antetokounmpo. Well, many people around the league believe after the Bucks were eliminated from the first round of the playoffs for the 3rd straight season, the 2nd year in a row is by Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers, that he may actually ask out of Milwaukee this offseason. We've got Shams reporting on it, Chris Haynes. We'll dive into everything that has been shared and why I think it's likely he asks out. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you agree? Predict it for me. Will Giannis request a trade? I'll tell you right now, spoiler alert, I do think Antetokounmpo asks out this summer. I think it's more likely than not. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Do you agree or disagree? Well, let's share what Shams Charania said before, after, either way, it was over the time that Giannis and the Bucks got eliminated Tuesday evening against the Indiana Pacers. Shams said that the Bucks and Giannis are scheduled to meet after the season to discuss both his future and the future plans for the team. So there's already a discussion that needs to be had between the star player and the organization. And Chris Haynes, who said this about 2 weeks ago before Milwaukee was ultimately eliminated, saying that he doesn't think Giannis will finish his career with the Bucks. Wholesale changes are coming in if they don't make a deep run in the playoffs. Front office, coaching staff, Bucks could go in a different direction, a.k.a. trading Giannis, if things go sour in the postseason. And I've already said it once on this video. I'll say it again. I truly do believe that Giannis Antetokounmpo will ask out of the Bucks. He has done everything that you could possibly hope for after being drafted just outside the lottery back in the mid-2010s. He won a championship, multi-time MVP, Finals MVP, and has brought Milwaukee to consistent playoff success over the last 7 to 8 seasons. But ever since winning the title over the Phoenix Suns during the 2021 NBA playoffs, it has not been a smooth road for the Bucks and Giannis. Over the last 4 seasons, they have yet to make it back to a conference finals. They lost in the 2nd round the year after winning the title to Boston, and then it's been 3 straight first-round exits. They were the 1 seed and got upset by the Heat in 22-23 when the Heat went to the NBA Finals and lost to Denver. Then last season, they were the 3 seed, losing to the 6-seeded Pacers. And then this season, they were once again out of the playoffs due to Indiana in the 4-5 matchup. So it has not been good playoff success. And when you look forward to this Bucks roster, there isn't anything to look forward to. It was heartbreaking to watch Damian Lillard tear his Achilles in the first-round playoff series against the Indiana Pacers. But that injury, how significant he is, how old Dame is, how late in the season it was, practically keeps Dame out for the entirety of the 25-26 season. So that is now $54.1 million allotted to nobody playing for the Bucks next season. And outside of Giannis, the roster is not pretty. These are the 8 players outside of Dame and Giannis on the roster. Kyle Kuzma was horrible for Milwaukee ever since being dealt from Washington. Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton, and Kevin Porter Jr. all have player options. But the point is, this roster is not very good, and it's not a team that I think will be anything better than an NBA play-in team next season with Dame being out for basically the entire year. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel for daily content. We put out videos every single day here at Chat Sports, whether it's the NBA, NFL, college football. Hit that sub button. We go live for big events as well. I'll be live here for the NBA Lottery on May 12th. I'll be live for the NBA Draft and NBA Free Agency as well. So make sure you subscribe right now. I already alluded to it, but I think that Milwaukee Bucks roster is absolutely terrible. And when Giannis might look at that and have his meeting with Bucks ownership, I think he's going to ask out of the sinking ship. You take it a step further here. The Bucks don't have a pick that they can really make until 2031. Like, they don't have draft capital to use because of pick swaps in trades that they have already made. So they don't have their own pick that they have. So if they're bad, like they can't use it. Like it is a disaster in Milwaukee, and that Dame injury really set this team back going forward in the next couple of years, which is why I might see Giannis asking out and potentially being traded. So if he does end up getting traded, where are the most likely outcomes for him to land? I think these are the 5 most likely ones: Orlando, Houston, Brooklyn, Miami, and San Antonio. Some people might say the Knicks could be on there if they get bounced against the Pistons, or if they ultimately lose in the second round, because they could offer Cat, Mikal Bridges, and a couple first-round picks for Giannis to make it Jalen Brunson, Antetokounmpo, and then Josh Hart and company. We'll see. But going just one by one quickly here, Orlando, could they want to pair up Banchero and Giannis? They could offer a handful of picks, Franz Wagner, Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, something like that, and make an interesting offer. Houston has a lot of draft capital, but what would they trade? Would they trade an Alperen Şengün? Would they trade Amen Thompson? Or would they try to make it a Jalen Green package? Because if they try to do Jalen Green, I'm not sure Milwaukee would be interested in that. Brooklyn, to me, has been consistently linked as the top destination. I'm not sure why. They can't offer anything outside of a boatload of draft picks. And why would Antetokounmpo want to go there? That's not a team that he could elevate to be a contender in the East, so I don't get it. Miami's interesting because they could offer one of Tyler Hero or Bam Adebayo, or if they kept both of them, Bam, Tyler, and Giannis could easily be a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. But the issue for Miami, they only have 3 tradable first-round picks, and is that enough to compete with some of these other teams? And then San Antonio is super interesting to me because they could hypothetically package a handful of picks, Devin Vassell, the Rookie of the Year in Stephon Castle, and create a big 3 of De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know who would fill out the roster, but that's a pretty scary big 3. Now, there's one other team I want to mention, a dark horse, if you will, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Do I think the Thunder will ultimately go after Giannis? I do not think they will, because I think they ultimately win the NBA Finals this season, and if they do that, why would they blow up their young core of affordable players with all those draft picks they have? Doesn't make any sense. But if OKC were to get eliminated in the second round against the Nuggets Clippers winner, or lose in the title series or the conference finals, maybe they do shake it up. They have the most draft picks you could offer. They can offer one of Chet Holmgren or Jalen Williams and say, you know what, let's go all in. They'd probably offer Chet, hypothetically, to keep a Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Hartenstein kind of front court with SGA and company in the backcourt. But if the Thunder wanted to just say, F it, we'll go get Giannis, they could, because they have the most picks and they have the young players to overtop any type of package out there. But let me know, name your top Giannis trade destination. What team do you think would land Antetokounmpo in the summer if he ultimately requested a trade? Get down in the comment section and let me know. All right, let's shift over to Ja Morant, because could the Memphis Grizzlies be dealing the former second overall pick from Murray State this upcoming offseason? Listen, the NBA, boy, those trade rumors never stop. We got Giannis and Ja, and we're not even fully into the offseason just yet. But why is this something that could be possible? Well, ESPN's Tim McMahon has reported that there has been whispering and rumblings about a Ja Morant trade, and that is very fascinating because he is such an interesting player. Like, there's a lot to like, but there's also a lot to not like. One of the reasons not to like Ja is, well, he has some injury concerns. He obviously was suspended for the beginning of the 23-24 season, but then got hurt when he returned, only ended up playing 9 games. He only played 50 this season due to a handful of injuries, and he's never put together a season over the last 4 years there, that is, of making 65 games plus, which obviously, remember folks, you need to play 65 games or more to be able to qualify for NBA awards at the end of the year. He's never been able to do that, but he is a top-notch offensive engine that gives you 23 plus a night and gives you about 7 assists a night as well, shooting 45% from the field or better. Now, the three-point shooting isn't great, but he has never been an elite three-point shooter. You know what he is. He attacks the rim, finishes, hits floaters, and draws a crowd. Now, there is a dilemma, in my opinion, with Ja Morant. Like, he is good. And if you're the Grizzlies, you are a really good team when Ja Morant plays for you. The numbers support that. But he has off the court concerns with everything going on around him. And he's injury prone, as I mentioned. He misses games. And there's always the possibility that he does not age gracefully. And I think that is something we're going to continue to see more and more of in the NBA. How do teams view these star players long term? And you can make the same case for Giannis. Like, once his athleticism and explosiveness and his body gives out on a little bit, will he be able to be elite at 35, 36? Because we've seen Kevin Durant stay elite at this age. Steph Curry, LeBron James. Are you able to refine your game to be able to play late into your career? Because I think that will influence how much people want to have you around their team or how much they'd be willing to trade for him. And with his body taking so many hits, the way he lands consistently because he puts his body in a tough angles and areas when he goes and flies towards the rim, like, he might not age gracefully, especially if he doesn't develop a consistent three-point shot. But with that being said, there still will be teams interested in Ja Morant because he is an all-star level point guard. And these are the 5 teams that I could see going after him. 3 teams make the Giannis and Ja list: Brooklyn, Miami, and Orlando. Brooklyn, I think, is just trying to become relevant again. They have a lot of picks to offer after they traded away Kyrie. They traded away KD. So they could offer picks, and they might look to make Ja their face of the franchise alongside Cam Johnson and a top pick in this year's draft. The Miami Heat desperately need a point guard next to Tyler Hero. Is Hero and Ja a good fit? I don't know, but if they can't find a big-time whale that Pat Riley, quote-unquote, calls them, I could see them pivoting to Ja Morant. In Orlando, they wouldn't need to trade Franz Wagner or Banchero on this deal. They need guard scoring. They haven't got it from Jalen Suggs. They didn't get what they wanted from KCP. They could offer a Jalen Suggs and picks package to the Grizzlies for Ja. That's interesting. Chicago's looking for a true point guard. Is Kobe White the guy? I'm not sure. Are they going to commit to Josh Giddey? I don't know. And Toronto's a fascinating team because they have the capital to acquire Ja. They traded for Brandon Ingram. They have Scotty Barnes. I don't know if that would be a good team, but they could trade a package of Quickly and RJ Barrett to get Ja Morant, have Ja Morant, Jakob Poeltl, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes as your core 4, slide in Jacoby Walter or Chai Abaji at the 2 spot. It's definitely a fascinating idea. I wouldn't rule out Toronto in terms of trying to get a Ja Morant. But whenever a trade does ultimately happen this offseason, we will continue to have you covered, whether it's draft, whether it's free agency, but also in the NFL world and college football. Hit that sub button, join Chat Sports today, and join the 408,000 subscribers who trust us to deliver the best and informative and entertaining sports content on YouTube.